Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Weston. I'm the Executive Director of Acterra, Action for a Healthy Planet. I get the pleasure of joining you this evening from my home, as all of you are. The interesting part of this year for me has been that we have been in the process of building an all-electric home, and it has been the most frustrating experience of my life. I can't describe to you how hard it is, and that's the amazing part that Acterra plays in this world, right? We're trying to educate folks and make these electrification processes easier for people all across the Bay Area. I am experiencing that firsthand, and I'm really excited that this evening brings us all together to talk about the hardest things we're experiencing around climate change. Of course, one of the programs that we have is beneficial electrification, and my firsthand experience in getting a house to that point is more difficult than it should be. And now I know more now than ever the role that Acterra plays in making this world a better place for all of us. I'm glad to be sharing this story with you. I am almost settled into this new all-electric house after a harrowing experience, which some of you know about, and I'd be glad to share more details. But because of this personal experience, I think our programs are even more highlighted for me in their importance, and I'm glad that we can all share this with you this evening. I also get the honor of thanking our continuing relationships with our sponsors. We could not do any of our work, none of it, without the amazing partnerships we have in our community. That includes all of you that are attending this evening and choosing to spend your Friday night with us. It also includes our partners and funders that keep this work going. So first and foremost, thank you to the Bay Area Air Quality Management District for hosting and awarding our Spare the Air Leadership Award this evening. Such an amazing honor to continue to work with the Air District on all of their key initiatives. There's just really good alignment between Acterra's work and the Air District, and we're thrilled that we can continue that work together. I also want to thank our Promise Level hosts. We have Adobe, we have Renee DeSantis, Barbara Ernie, who's a board member of ours, Bruce Hodge, who's also a board member, and his wife, Elizabeth Wheel, Josue Ramirez, a board member of Acterra, and his wife, Karina Rivera. Again, a thank you to Langan for hosting our networking reception. Thanks to our leadership level sponsors, City of Hayward, Rethink Waste, Service by Medallion, Phil and Crystal Brosterhouse. Phil is a board member of Acterra. Peter and Melanie Cross. Peter is a board member of Acterra. Mike Hindry, a board member of Acterra. Suds and Lori Jane. Suds is a board member of Acterra. And Bart and Nancy Westcott. You can tell by the amazing participation from our board members how excited I am to continually work with them and learn from them and be mentored by them as we all do this work together. So thank you to all of our sponsors, my board members in particular. You'll see more of their names as we go through the evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm super excited to be here with you. As you can tell, I'm even more excited to hand over our mic, our virtual mic, to Osman Job, who is our MC this evening. We have amazing speakers for you. I hope that you enjoy all of the breakout sessions. And again, if there's any questions about the logistics for the evening, please utilize the chat function. Please visit the expos of our host and partners. You'll see those on your screen. There will be other opportunities to engage, but please be active in the chat. This is one of the ways that we can experience this evening together. Our staff will be participating in all of the breakout sessions, so you'll be able to see them and say hello, and they'll be reaching out to you as well. So engage as much as you can this evening. We hope you have a blast. I'm here to have so much fun with you as we make this promise to our planet together. Thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. Big welcome to Promise Our Planet's networking event. Hello from Washington, D.C. I'm your MC for the evening. I know you were expecting Trevor Noah, but tonight you get this random guy from LinkedIn. Literally from LinkedIn. I actually work at LinkedIn, but that's another story for another time. Usman Job. Today I'm your host, and we have an incredible lineup of speakers, networking activities, music, and of course, mixology. Promise to Our Planet celebrates the community that believes in a healthy planet and that does the hard work to bring it to life. Tonight, we want to celebrate with our tribe. That means each and every one of you here. That also means we need two things to get this night started right. One, great tunes. Two, amazing drinks. DJ Dak is an all-star. When she's not blowing our minds with great work at LinkedIn, she's spinning for the NBA, Global Citizen, and the Classic Theater of Harlem. Matt Teichman is co-founder of San Franola, a company committed to improving nutrition in the Bay Area. In Matt's spare time, he runs On the Rocks Bartending in San Francisco. Matt will guide us virtually through making the storied Acterra Cool Teeny. Matt will speak to how you can incorporate healthy and sustainable ingredients into your cocktails. Now, Matt, take it away.
Good evening and welcome to the VIP networking portion of tonight's Acterra Promise to Our Planet benefit. Tonight you'll learn how to lower your carbon footprint, workplace sustainability, and cool electric cars. You'll also learn how Black farmers are returning to their land, and you'll hear from Wade Crowfoot regarding California's natural resources. My name is Matt Teichman, and I'm from On the Rocks Bartending, and I'll be making the Coolitini cocktail to start, and then I'll show you a variation on it as an encore performance so you guys can have a second cocktail and really enjoy your night. So without further ado, the Coolitini cocktail is the Acterra house cocktail. It's 2 parts vodka, 2 parts lemon juice, 1 part agave simple syrup, and a dash of triple sec. We're going to shake that up. Strain and enjoy. Now, I normally take time to drink this cocktail before I make my second, but understanding you have limited time tonight and you don't need to watch me drink, I'll set that aside. I'll have that here in a second. For the second cocktail, and I like to call this appropriately for the event tonight, the Sail the Ocean Blueberry. All right? So we're going to add our ice to the shaker, 2 parts vodka, blueberries. There, no. Add that to the shaker. Now, instead of muddling like they would with a mojito, you can actually just put your fruit inside the shaker, shake it up. You don't need to strain because we want that blueberry flavor. We want the blueberry juices. You want to be able to nibble on the marinated blueberries at the end. Pour that into your glass. Top it off with your favorite sparkling water. If you like it sweet, we've got the agave. I'm not a sweet guy, but, you know, to each his own. So you can add a little bit of sweetness. You could do that in the shaker. You could do it as a floater on top. But again, that's the Sail the Ocean Blueberry along with the Coolitini. So you've got 2 drinks, 1 night. You're going to have a good night. And to wrap it up, I appreciate your presence tonight. Hope to see you at an On the Rocks event where we're bartending sometime soon. I'm sure there'll be a link sent out about how to contact us if you want to hire us for a private event. And enjoy the rest of the evening. Thanks a lot.
DJ Dak, thanks for the tunes. And Matt Teichman, thank you, our epic mixologist. Thank you for making us limber and getting us started on the right foot. Next up, Langen Engineering and Environmental Services is a past Acterra Award winner for sustainability and is the presenting sponsor for Promise to Our Planet's networking event. Here to introduce our first key speaker of the night, please put your hands together for Dorinda Shipman.
Hello, my name is Dorinda Shipman, and I welcome you to the Acterra family. I am an environmental principal at Langen Engineering and Environmental Services. In 2019, Langen won the Acterra Award for Sustainability for making diligent efforts to operate sustainably and to expand sustainable design expertise in over 20 service areas, ranging from coastal resiliency to greenhouse gas reduction planning to green building design. As a carbon neutral firm, Langen operates on the belief that individuals and organizations will thrive in a future built on the principles of sustainability. This year, we're proud to be the presenting sponsor for Acterra's Promise to Our Planet's networking reception and to introduce you to our host, Wade Crowfoot. As California's Natural Resources Secretary, Wade's key priorities include our state forests, rivers and waterways, coastal land and oceans, fish and wildlife, and clean energy development. As our host, Wade will speak on how good natural resource management helps places thrive and allows communities and our economy to prosper. I thank you all for your time and ask you to join me in welcoming Wade to our event this evening.
Well, good evening. Very glad to be with you here tonight, and welcome to Promise to Our Planet, Acterra's annual gala benefit for its remarkable environmental sustainability work in Palo Alto, California. My name is Wade Crowfoot, and I serve as our California Natural Resources Secretary, one of two state agencies charged with protecting the environment. And I'm really gratified to kick off the event here tonight. It's going to be a remarkable convening, full of speakers, including the world famous Bill McKibben, a personal hero of mine. I'm really excited also to be here just to honor and to celebrate an organization that has been on the ground doing environmentally sustainable work for upwards of 50 years. As I was preparing for my remarks tonight, I dug into the history of Acterra and learned that it actually, its origins were the coming together of two organizations, one called the Peninsula Conservation Center Foundation, which was founded in 1970, fully 3 years before Earth Day, as well as Bay Area Action, which was founded in 1990. And in a remarkable small world occurrence, the executive director of that first organization was named Claire Dedrick. And Claire left founding and leading the Peninsula Conservation Center Foundation to actually become the first female secretary of the agency I now lead. So remarkably, there are dots that connect from the agency I lead to the work of Acterra. Just for a little bit of background, we're an agency about 20,000 employees strong across the state, and we include many departments you may know, like CAL FIRE, who of course fights our wildfires and also manages our forests. Our Department of Recreation and Parks that manages our remarkable state park system. Our Department of Fish and Wildlife, charged with protecting our nature in California. Department of Water Resources, with the responsibility of ensuring supply of water across our state. 10 conservancies that are focused on environmental conservation. The California Energy Commission, the Department of Conservation, the California Coastal Commission, and even the California Science Center and the California African American Museum in Los Angeles. And our mission is fundamentally to steward California's natural resources. And I like to say, in layperson's terms, protect the environment that helps make this place of California so incredible. And tonight, we really honor Acterra and the work that they and you do together. As I said, on the ground, demonstrating how environmental sustainability can be achieved locally. Now, it's an old adage, think globally, act locally. And that is really at its heart what Acterra is doing. Whether it's expanding the electrification of transportation through electric vehicles, reforming and strengthening a sustainable food system through its work on sustainably sourcing food into the community, improving workplace sustainability practices. Entities like Acterra are critically important to agencies like mine. We end up investing and giving a lot of resources across our state, and of course, implementing laws and regulations. But frankly, the ideas that we lift up and ultimately institutionalize come from local communities and are championed and catalyzed by groups like Acterra. And I have to say, it's obviously been such a challenging last year, among other things beyond the pandemic, just the political polarization that's taken place. And to have an organization that is focused on implementing solutions that are improving local communities and actually providing a model that can be scaled up across the world is really inspirational and frankly energizing to me in these times. Now, I wish we were gathering in person, and I know as vaccines surge across the state, I hope every one of us sees that light at the end of the tunnel getting a little brighter each day. But while we continue to take precautions to protect ourselves and our families and our communities, events like this are really important for a couple of reasons. It's critical to come together and to continue to be inspired by each other and reinforce the good work that's happening in communities. And of course, it's critical to support organizations like Acterra that are actually getting this work done. This work doesn't happen on its own. It happens for nonprofit organizations thanks to the support of folks like you joining us here tonight. Now, this is a moment, I think, on this topic of environmental and sustainability that is more important than ever. We know we face the planetary crisis of climate change. I would also say we face a planetary nature crisis where we are seeing levels of extinction of our species of plants and animals across this planet that haven't happened in modern history. We're losing habitat. We're seeing our land and our ocean systems degraded. Not only our atmospheric system challenged by greenhouse gas pollution, but impacts on our ocean and our land. So we know all this, and I make the point not to dwell on the tremendous crisis we're in right now, but to identify just how important this work is. I'm really proud of the work that we're doing under Governor Newsom here in Sacramento to continue to drive California's leadership on climate action. California is a world model, a world example of growing our economy, currently the 5th largest economy in the world, while reducing our carbon pollution, demonstrating that economic prosperity and environmental sustainability go hand in hand. And we're doubling down on that vision. Governor Newsom just this past fall announced a directive that by 2035, all new passenger vehicles and light duty trucks sold in California will be zero emission. And that's an important signal that actually catalyzed other states and countries to follow suit. And now we have major global auto manufacturers vowing to only produce electric vehicles by that time. Now, a goal like that is important, and leaders like Governor Newsom and our legislature are important in setting those goals. But frankly, the work that Acterra does, for example, deploying electric vehicles and electric vehicle infrastructure in communities on the peninsula is critical, because it's for elected officials, setting goals is important, but they're not meaningful if there's actually not a solid pathway to implement those goals. Another example of leadership I'm really proud of is another governor's executive order that establishes a 30 by 30 goal in California to conserve 30% of our state's land and coastal waters by 2030. And when we talk about conserving, we mean conserving both natural places and expanding natural places like wilderness areas, but also improving conservation of our working lands, our farms, our ranches, our forests, to improve the way that we manage those lands and coastal waters for the benefit of our species and maintaining our biodiversity, to achieve more equitable access to the outdoors for communities across California that don't currently enjoy that access. And of course, to leverage lands playing their part in our fight against climate change. Think about wildfires. These catastrophic wildfires in California have meant that our forests, which are normally a sink for carbon or absorb carbon, turn into a source of carbon pollution and poor air quality. And wildfire resilience is just one area of priority where under Governor Newsom, we're very focused on significantly improving the amount of money that we invest in proactive upfront measures to reduce the risk of catastrophic wildfire. Whether that's building emergency fuel breaks around communities to protect those communities, whether it's restoring prescribed small fire back onto the landscape, which is a practice that our tribal partners exercise since time immemorial. And so our 30 by 30 goal is actually meant to galvanize these types of land use practices and climate resilience. And again, while we in state government are working to do our part to lead on law and regulation and investments, our success conserving California, building our climate resilience, demonstrating to the world that prosperity and sustainability go hand in hand, only will succeed to the extent that it's actually proven on the ground by organizations like Acterra. I'm so proud of the work that we all do together, and I'm very optimistic about our future. No doubt, as Mr. McKibben will share, we face an existential crisis to human life on this planet, and we shouldn't shy away from that, and we won't shy away from that. At the same time, feasible solutions exist. And if we have the political will and the community engagement to implement those solutions, we in California can continue to lead the world in ensuring that our grandchildren and our grandchildren's grandchildren can continue to benefit from life on this remarkable planet. So listen, have a great night. Glad to be with you. Look forward to you having a chance to spend time with one another and hear from our tremendous speakers here tonight. And importantly, congratulations to the Acterra team for another impactful, successful year of environmental stewardship. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Wade. That was excellent. What really stuck out for me is the optimism about our future. And if we have the will, the world will absolutely follow. So let's talk about building community, because I think that that's part of building a better world. And one of the things we want to do is start that right now with everybody on the line. We're going to move on next to breakout rooms. It's going to be an opportunity to network, opportunity to listen to our wonderful DJ Dat, check out expo rooms with our partners, sponsors, young professionals, make deeper connections, and try out chat roulette. I'm excited about this because you get a chance to get paired up with someone for 3 minutes. One of the things I'd recommend as you get paired up, ask someone else, why are you here? What are you looking to inspire you today? If you guys are up for it, let's try it out. Let's go in our breakout rooms right now.
Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Weston. I'm the Executive Director of Acterra Action for a Healthy Planet. I get the pleasure of welcoming you this evening to an amazing lineup of speakers. If you just happened to be joining us, it means you missed our networking reception that was sponsored by Langen. We had Wade Crowfoot speak. We had a mixologist teach us how to make the Acterra Cooltini. We had a networking space where folks could meet and greet each other. So what I hope you get to experience in this next program session is the lineup of speakers. We're thrilled to have the attendees that we have this evening that have spent their time with us to teach us about their work and how it aligns with Acterra. We're really, really excited about our speakers, Bill McKibben being one. What a once in a lifetime experience it was for me to be able to interview him. I have very few moments in my life where I get to fangirl, and I was definitely fangirling in that moment. So I'm so excited to share the interview with you and have him present this evening. I also get to share with you gratitude for our sponsors. We have amazing continued partnerships throughout the community and the Bay Area. Our lead sponsor this evening for the Spare the Air Leadership Award was the Bay Area Air Quality Management District. The Air District has been a long partner of Acterra's, and we literally couldn't do our work without them or any of the other folks that are sponsoring this evening. Of course, Langan for the networking reception. At our promise level, we get to thank Adobe, Renee DeSantis, Barb Ernie, Bruce Hodge and Elizabeth Wheel, Josue Ramirez and Karina Rivera. At our leadership level, we get to thank the City of Hayward, Rethink Waste, Service by Medallion, Phil and Crystal Brosterhouse, Peter and Melanie Cross, Mike Hendry, Suds and Lori Jane, Bart and Nancy Westcott, all amazing people that are dedicated to the success of Acterra. We couldn't do any of this without you and the other sponsors that we have this evening. Please make sure to visit the expos when you get a chance. It's how we get to highlight those partnerships at their best and brightest moments. If you have any questions about the Hop-In tool, please reach out in the chat. The chat is going to be an active function this evening so that we get to participate in live conversation with you, that you get to engage with staff and each other. So use that chat function as if we were live networking together in the same room. There's also other functions within Hop-In. You'll notice that this screen is the main screen. When you go to breakout sessions, those will be off to the left side of your screen. So make sure that you spend a couple of minutes acquainting yourself with the Hop-In tool. Now I get to turn over the evening to Osman Job, who has graciously decided to be our MC for this evening. You got to meet him in the networking reception. He will be with us throughout the evening, and I am excited to turn it over to him and share this Promise to Our Planet event with all of you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you, Lauren. If you were at the networking reception earlier, you are now under no illusion that Trevor Noah will not be emceeing this event. That's correct. You're stuck with me, Usman Job. While my day job is now at LinkedIn in Washington, D.C., I spent 20 transformative years in California. And it is my proud honor to be your host tonight for Promise to Our Planet. It is arguably the Oscars, the Grammys, and Emmys combined. And it's the premier event dedicated to climate change solutions, inspiring hope for our entire planet through collective action in the Bay Area. I'm going to ask for 4 things tonight. 1, I want you to give yourself permission to be inspired. 2, open your hearts, your ears to countless stories about courage, innovation, dedication, and amazing things the world needs to hear. 3, celebrate people who are doing their best to move the world forward. 4, we're going to be serious because this is a serious battle that we're fighting right now to save our planet. And there's going to be a lot of projects needed to make this happen. And I lied. 5, we're going to have fun. And we're going to build some serious community along the way. We're going to start off with a major award, follow that up with an unforgettable keynote. Celebrate champions of promise who were selected out of hundreds, and choose some incredible breakout sessions. Whether you love to cook, farm, drive EVs, we've got something for you and more. We want you to open your hearts and also your wallets. If at any point tonight you are inspired by this community and want to see its work thrive, there's going to be a link that's going to live at the bottom of Hop-In, acterra.org/donate-now. I want you to leave inspired, and I want you to take this energy into the next 364 days until our next event. Finally, the chat is our friend. If we were all in a room together, the energy would be raucous, but we don't have that in 2021. So I need you to rock this chat like it was 1999 and we were all Prince for one night. That means go crazy in the chat, okay? What are you excited for? Why did you come here tonight? Please let us know, and please stay active in the chat. Now, are you ready to get started? If so, give me a big fat YES in the chat. Finally, PSA, my partner in crime tonight will be DJ Dak. She'll be spinning the tunes that will be the soundtrack to energize us throughout the night. So can someone please give her a shout out in the chat and make her feel the love? DJ D-A-K. Amazing. To kick us off and drive our very first segment, our next speaker will introduce the winner of the prestigious Spare the Air Award. Two incredible finalists have been chosen because they've shown ingenuity and out-of-the-box thinking to be nominated. Please give a warm welcome to the Executive Director of the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, Jack Broadbent, to present the finalists and the winner of the 2021 Spare the Air Leadership Award.
Hello, I'm Jack Broadbent, Executive Officer of the Bay Area Air Quality Management District. Thank you to Acterra for putting on this virtual Promise to Our Planet celebration and continuing to put a spotlight on true Bay Area environmental leaders as we navigate these challenging times. In partnership, Acterra and the Air District have come together to honor and recognize this year's Spare the Air Leadership Award winners. We continue to be impressed by the number of Bay Area-based companies that lead, showing their initiative to protect the climate and preserve our air quality. The Bay Area Air Quality Management District's mission is to protect public health, air quality, and the global climate. Over the past 65 years, the Air District has led on many air quality and climate issues, helping the region to meet these goals. With first-in-the-nation regulations, leading air quality compliance and enforcement programs, clean air grants, and our renowned Spare the Air program, we continue to make dramatic air quality improvements in the Bay Area. But we can't do it alone. We need air quality and climate action leaders to join us to ensure clean, breathable air for everyone in the Bay Area. And out-of-the-box thinking to keep our region productive while reducing our climate impacts. The effects of climate change demand more of us as climate leaders. The Air District is taking bold action to improve air quality and provide climate protection strategies. We have a vision to improve air quality and reduce climate impacts. Here is a video from our first finalist, Granite Construction Company, highlighting their environmental project.
Granite Construction Company has a long history in California. Since our founding in 1922, sustainability has meant doing business with the future in mind. Within the San Francisco Bay Area, we have a diverse portfolio of public and private clients. We also operate several materials facilities focused on providing high-quality material for local community infrastructure projects. In 2019, Granite Construction completed a multi-million-dollar facility upgrade at our Santa Clara asphalt plant. That same year, we were honored to receive a Green Business Award from the County of Santa Clara, one of the first facilities in the state to do so. Our new facility is now 45% faster than the old plant with proven emissions reductions. Airborne testing shows a decrease of particulate emissions by 98%, carbon dioxide emissions by 94%, and NOx emissions by 68%. These renovations have made the site one of Granite's most productive facilities.
This is our aggregate unloading facility. We upgraded this from our old facility and we're able to cut the offloading time for the trucks delivering the material by a factor of 5. This greatly reduced the idle time that the trucks have on site, also helped tremendously with the traffic flow, which impacts idle time on other trucks coming on site while they're waiting to pick up product. We also, as part of this area, paved the base of our stockpiles. This helped facilitate drainage of water from our stockpiles, which has led to a reduction of around 5% in our fuel use in drying the aggregate in our production process.
Santa Clara Asphalt Facility makes 300 to 500,000 tons of material each year, consuming around 40 to 60,000 tons of recycled asphalt paving. The new plant can use up to 40% of recycled asphalt in our products, up from 14%. This is important because 30% of all landfill capacity in California is made up of construction and demolition debris, which includes asphalt pavement. The more recycled asphalt in our mix, the more room in our landfills.
Behind me, we have our new drag slat, we have our ultra low NOx hot oil heater, and our low NOx burner that heats and dries our aggregates.
Our new counterflow asphalt drum is the largest source of stationary emissions. We estimate annual emissions mitigated by this project to be at a minimum of 17,600 pounds of carbon dioxide, 5,300 pounds of NOx, and 4,500 pounds of particulate matter emissions. The new baghouse, our primary emissions abatement system, is 30% larger and also has a variable frequency drive. These factors extend the life of the baghouse components, reduce power consumption and noise by 40 decibels. Several Granite team members are trained annually by the California Air Resources Board to better monitor our facilities. Our company-wide stop work order also empowers every employee to shut down operations if they see something wrong.
Behind me is our blue smoke collection and filtration system. This collects and filters the blue smoke that's emitted from the asphalt as it's loaded into customer trucks. This was not new to the facility as part of the upgrade. However, this is one of the first facilities in the state of California to have this system.
Our Caterpillar loader was upgraded from a Tier 2 to a cleaner, more efficient Tier 4 engine, well ahead of any state requirement.
As part of the upgrade to this facility, we installed a cattle guard track-out control system.
Construction of this newer facility has cemented relationships with suppliers, customers, and equipment manufacturers. Renovations were pursued without mandate, and permitted emissions threshold levels of our new equipment were developed through close partnership between Granite Construction and Bay Area Air Quality Management District. We collaborated closely with them because Granite believes that regulations are best made in conversation with those being regulated. Our Sustainability Council is made up of interdisciplinary experts who work with the executive and environmental teams to define strategic growth opportunities for our industry. Efficiently using resources is essential to Granite's growth and sustainability as a business. The Santa Clara Asphalt Plant stands as a beacon to our industry, producing high-quality asphalt paving to support Silicon Valley and the entire San Francisco Bay Area. From rock in the ground to rock in the road, Granite engages our entire company to achieve sustainability. Above all, Granite looks forward to the next 100 years of operational achievement and community service. Thank you.
And here's a video from our second finalist, Peninsula Clean Energy and Silicon Valley Clean Energy, highlighting their environmental project.
Silicon Valley is a center for leadership and innovation, and a great place for families and businesses to thrive. As our region continues to grow, we must do so in a sustainable way that does not harm the health of our communities and environment. The combustion of natural gas in buildings and gas-powered vehicles accounts for more than 80% of local greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change. However, local communities are taking action to reduce our dependence on polluting fossil fuels. Silicon Valley Clean Energy and Peninsula Clean Energy are not-for-profit, community choice energy agencies buying and building clean, renewable energy supplies for homes and businesses. Silicon Valley Clean Energy and Peninsula Clean Energy are leading the charge to reduce fossil fuel use in our buildings and vehicles, helping local governments achieve their climate goals. The Peninsula Silicon Valley Reach Code Initiative is an ambitious regional effort to promote the construction of all-electric and electric vehicle-ready buildings. Because the electricity sourced by these agencies is carbon-free, electric buildings and transportation substantially reduce climate impacts. Every 3 years, cities adopt a new building code set by the state of California to ensure our homes and businesses are more energy efficient, safe, and comfortable. Through amendments to the code, known as Reach Codes, cities and counties can go above and beyond the state code to more quickly advance climate-friendly and healthier buildings. The Peninsula Silicon Valley Reach Code Initiative developed innovative, first-in-the-nation building codes that encourage construction of all-electric buildings and provide substantially greater access to electric vehicle charging. The initiative has supported over 20 local communities in adopting Reach Codes, nearly half those adopted across the state, that will cost-effectively avert the use of polluting natural gas in new homes and buildings. The new building codes apply to the thousands of upcoming housing and office units, leveraging the benefits of efficient electric appliances and electric vehicle charging that prepare us for a cleaner future. This local initiative has even spawned similar efforts in other parts of California. The Peninsula Silicon Valley Reach Code Initiative created partnerships across 40 local governments, nonprofits, technical partners, and engaged over 300 community members and stakeholders across the region. Reach codes foster healthier, safer, and more affordable buildings. Encouraging the construction of homes and businesses powered by clean electricity can improve our air quality and the health of our region for decades to come.
This year's winner has recognized that we must shift how we develop our region, putting climate protection at the forefront of our planning and decision-making. The Peninsula Silicon Valley Reach Code Initiative is an ambitious regional partnership, expanding local building codes to advance building and transportation decarbonization in new construction. Driving decarbonization through technical and programmatic approaches, this initiative has developed and supported first-in-the-nation model building codes, resulting in 21 agencies adopting REACH codes to decarbonize buildings and support local electric transportation. Solutions can be found through great partnership. Your hard work to help reshape our future to achieve our climate protection goals is critical. I'm pleased to present this year's Spare the Air Leadership Award to Peninsula Clean Energy and Silicon Valley Clean Energy for their partnership to advance cleaner buildings and transportation throughout their 40-city network.
The project was the result of terrific collaboration with Silicon Valley Clean Energy and the local governments within Santa Clara County and San Mateo County, and yielded nearly half of all of the REACH codes that have been adopted in the state so far. We want to thank our cities for their involvement, and particularly the city of Menlo Park, which really moved the needle in developing a building code that works for many jurisdictions. All electric buildings are safer and healthier for our residents. In addition, with REACH codes that support electric vehicle adoption, San Mateo County residents are projected to collectively save over $50 million per year by 2025. We would like to thank Acterra for this award and for recognizing the great work that we have been doing in collaboration with SVCE and with all of our member cities and counties.
SVC is honored to accept the Spare the Air Leadership Award on behalf of the many local leaders who have made this effort possible. The Peninsula Silicon Valley Reach Code Initiative would not have been possible without the leadership from over 40 local governments, nonprofits, and technical partners. SVC thanks the community stakeholders for their input during the creation of the model code. REACH codes have a significant and long-lasting impact on our local climate goals. It's encouraging to see how other jurisdictions beyond our service territory have taken an interest in REACH codes. Other communities are leveraging our resources and lessons learned to scale our impact. Our support continues by offering technical assistance to developers, architects, builders, and designers constructing new buildings in our area. Thank you again for recognizing this tremendous effort.
Thank you to all the finalists for the Spare the Air Leadership Award, and special kudos to Jan and the entire team at SVCE and Girish and the entire team at PCE. Your collaboration with cities, counties, and countless stakeholders move us all forward is impressive. Now, time to talk about a legend who has put all of us on his back and helped us move forward, Mr. Bill McKibben. Bill has won countless awards as one of the most influential thinkers across the globe. He's been named the world's best screen journalist too. And if you ever were to tell him that he could not be in two places at the same time, I'm sure he'd tell you, try me. He led 350.org's first planet-wide grassroots climate change movement, which was organized across 20,000 rallies around the world in nearly every country. He spearheaded the resistance to the Keystone Pipeline and launched the fastest growing fossil fuel divestment movement. I'm tired just thinking about how hard this man works to move our planet forward. He has written countless books about training for endurance events at an elite level, the economy, climate change, just to name a few. Please give Bill the biggest welcome we can muster for Promise to Our Planet. Bill is about to drop some gems, and we could not be happier to have him keynote. Please blow up our chat with comments and support for Mr. Bill McKibben. Over to you, Bill.
Well, hello, friends. What a pleasure to get to join the whole Acterra family on this occasion. And of course, for me, it's particularly special as a native of Palo Alto, though I didn't live there too long. I feel a great kinship with all the work that you're doing. I know that I should be positive, uplifting, and optimistic, but for a minute, I'm just going to be real. I know that it's been, well, if not exactly hell out there the last few years, it's been of a similar temperature and pretty much, sulfur and brimstone. Watching the fires that are ripped through California year after year scares the hell out of me and saddens me too, because I know what an incredibly beautiful place it is. And I know how unsettling it must be to live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, in a place that for a very long time, represented the kind of human ideal of leisure and grace, and to see it increasingly as a place that one has to be wary of and that feels dangerous sometimes. That mental rearranging of the furniture is sad, and I'm sure it's stressful. And that's why I am so glad that you all have reacted to this challenge, not by retreating, not by going to work, by figuring out what there is to do and to getting it done. And let's talk about what there is to do, because right at the moment, we actually have a whole suite of opportunities that we haven't had in the past. Some of those have opened up because the politics of things have changed, The work that together we've done over these last 10 or 15 years to build a movement has paid off. Finally, we've reached a point where you might call it the zeitgeist is shifting, and where the narrative that the fossil fuel industry wanted to put out, that there was no alternative to them, that was what we were stuck with, we had no other possibility. That narrative's drying up now, and instead people are beginning to see the future as normal, natural, obvious, relying on sun and wind and batteries and conservation, on electric cars and on buses and bikes. People are beginning to sense that it's time to shift. And you can tell that shift is happening in our attitudes, because look at the Biden administration going hard to work on climate change in a way that no other administration has. That's not because Joe Biden's, I think, a particular climate warrior. It's because we've done the work to make it both necessary and possible for him to be as outspoken as he's been. So good on you, and many thanks. That work has to continue. We have to continue to open up a lot of space for people like Biden that want to do the right thing, to do it, because the power of the fossil fuel companies remains extraordinarily strong. You can tell that in California because they keep persuading governors and legislators to keep letting them drill new oil wells, even in the middle of cities in California, which does not need to be doing this in any way, but it's just a kind of example of their unbroken power. That's why we need you to keep up the work that you're doing. around things like divestment. It was a huge deal when the UC system divested from fossil fuel. Huge deal. And we need CalSTRS and CalPERS doing the same thing. We need to keep up the fight about new fossil fuel infrastructure. It's a big deal when we're able to shut down proposed coal ports and oil ports and pipelines and things, and you all have done your share here. And it's also an interesting moment because we get to go on offense too and not just play defense. The other people who've done their job in the last decade, besides the movement builders, are the engineers. And they've given us an extraordinary gift. The price of solar power and wind power has dropped. And I don't mean it's just dropped a little bit. I mean it dropped 90% in a decade. From it was an expensive luxury to it is the cheapest way to produce power on planet Earth and by a large margin. Well, that's a great gift. That gives us the possibilities of real change. And you're working hard on some of those things. What am I talking about? Well, we realize now that we need to electrify everything around us, and then we need to provide that electricity renewably. One of the things that I'm most excited about seeing happen in California right now, in a place where it's leading the nation and in certain ways the world, is around this question of ridding, stopping the hookup of new homes and new buildings to gas lines, and instead telling them that they need to rely on electricity, which is now entirely possible to do. We have air source heat pumps for heating and cooling. They work great. And we have induction ovens for cooking. They work great too. In fact, they work far better than what we have at the moment. There's been a lot of research in the last couple of years to show that it's really not such a great idea. What do you know, to have an open flame in your kitchen filling your house with particulates. The levels of asthma go up. The levels of lung damage go up. Quite aside from the bad effect on the climate around us, the climate within our homes is poisoned. And so it's a great service to people's neighbors and communities to allow them to start escaping them. Not that it's easy, because the local utilities fight like hell to make sure that they can keep their business unimpeded, but we need to impede it. That move towards electrification is a perfect example. And of course, now we're doing it with transportation. I've got an electric car that connects to the solar panels on my roof, which makes me very happy. And this technology is not just cleaner than what came before it, it's better. If you like going fast in cars, they go faster. If you like having less service in your cars, they have fewer moving parts. If you like quiet, then they're not anywhere near as noisy. I mean, it's just there's no sacrifice here. There's a change for the better. And all we need to do is make sure that we, A, have all the infrastructure we need in terms of chargers and things, including for people who don't own their own homes, and B, that we don't allow people to keep buying internal combustion engine new cars. And I'm glad that California is moving in that direction. But I'm also clear that it has to move as fast in the direction of bikes and buses and trains and all the other things that we need to move our stuff and our bodies around, and hopefully begin to get us a little bit out of the private car culture to the extent that we can. Those kind of efforts are just indicative of all the different kinds of work that we're engaged in and that are so compelling. Which is why it's, hard to say the other thing that needs to be said, which is that we're still losing this fight. The amount of carbon in the atmosphere keeps going up. The temperature keeps going up. The damage keeps going up. If 2020 hadn't been the year of the coronavirus, it would have been the year of the conflagration. From one end of the world to the other, from Australia to Siberia to California to South America, We had fires on a scale we'd never seen before, but they were entirely predictable. I mean, the temperature in California last summer set a new record for the highest reliably recorded temperature on planet Earth, 130 degrees at Death Valley. That was bad, but that wasn't really the shocking number. The one that shocked me was seeing a couple of weeks later when it hit 120 degrees in San Luis Obispo, which is like a few miles from the Pacific. It's not supposed to get anything like that. And when it gets like that, of course, everything dries out. One can talk a lot and correctly about all the things that PG&E has done wrong that causes things to catch on fire and about, but basically, when it gets that hot and that dry, there's going to be a spark from somebody someplace, and that you know what the result's going to be. Having raised the temperature of the planet 1 degree, we're on a path to raise it 3 degrees Celsius. Can't let that happen because it won't be 3 times as bad. It'll be much worse than that. The damage is going to be exponential, not linear, because we're moving past tipping points all the time. So we need desperately to fight in effective ways that we haven't before. We need to be understanding that we have to come together to make positive change and to push back hard against the forces that would keep us from changing. These are equally important fights, the offense and the defense, if you want to call them that. And the important thing is to remember that we do them together. The most important thing an individual can do is be less of an individual. Join together with others. That's what y'all have done so successfully. That's why it's such a pleasure to get to join you and to say thank you. You guys deserve enormous credit. And what you're doing in California is reverberating out to the rest of the world. And I want you to know that you have brothers and sisters the planet over who are working in the same ways. We're meeting tonight to try and make the same kind of decisions and accomplish the same things. And of course, California's ahead in a lot of ways in this work. Ahead because it's wealthy, ahead because it has great access to technology. Everybody is watching what y'all are doing and drawing strength from it. And I hope that you're drawing strength from what people are doing all over the rest of the world, especially in those communities that have done the least to cause this problem. The iron law of global warming, of course, is the less you did to cause it, the sooner and the harder it hits. And that's why it's good that increasingly people in those vulnerable communities, frontline communities, indigenous communities, are taking the lead in this fight and getting so much done. We all have a lot to teach each other and a lot to learn from each other. And you guys are doing that at a high level of responsibility. And we should be very, very proud of your efforts in the past. And I know that we're all going to be proud of your efforts in the future. The next decade's the crucial one. This fight doesn't go on forever and ever. If we don't get a lot done in the next 10 years, well, then we're not passing on much of a fight to the people that follow us. Our job is to do enough that we do pass on the possibility of continuing to make this kind of change and this kind of progress. I can't swear that we're going to be able to do it, but I can swear that we're going to try, that the fight is on everywhere and nowhere more than there. So I will just finish where I started, saying thanks for taking care of the place where I came from. And I will look forward, once we've all been successfully jabbed, to getting back to seeing you all in person and being able to say thank you face to face. In the meantime, please accept my extraordinary gratitude for all the work that you all are up to all the time.
Thank you, Bill, for keeping it real. I took out so much from that keynote. The zeitgeist is changing because of our movement. Tech is becoming cleaner. Cars and public transit are getting better. Homes are getting safer. But we're still losing the fight. Carbon keeps going up. Temperatures keep going up. and all over the globe, we're seeing fires like we've never seen before. Now more than ever, we need to come together to make positive change and push back. But we need community. We need what's happening right now in this event to power us all year long. And we need to say thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing everything that you do. And thank you for helping make this next decade one of the most crucial ones in our history. Because the possibility continuum has to continue. Wow. I would love to turn it back now to Acterra's Executive Director, Lauren Weston, to celebrate people who are doing exactly that, the Champions of Promise Award. Lauren, over to you.
Thank you, Osman. That was amazing. I'm, again, just getting goosebumps as we go through this evening. Now, I have the exciting moment of sharing with you our Champions of Promise. We have had such an amazing showing of impactful actions already underway to combat our climate crisis. We've had amazing nominations throughout the Bay Area communities, and these local solutions include reducing greenhouse gas emissions from buildings and transportation, creating more sustainable and healthy food systems, celebrating the environmental leadership of Bay Area companies and organizations, and building support for education and mentorship of the next generation of climate activists. We honor our Champions of Promise through these 4 key categories that align with Acterra's programming. First, workplace sustainability. Second, food sustainability. Third, beneficial electrification. And fourth, youth activism and climate change education. I know who's been nominated. I am so thrilled at all of the nominees. We are so honored that we had as many applications and nominations as we did. This is the first year that we have done Champions of Promise, and we have an amazing group of folks for you this evening. I get to turn it over to Phil Boble to do our first presentation of the evening.
The City of Palo Alto and I, Phil Boble, were thrilled to submit an application to Acterra for Julie Weiss as the Workplace Champion of Environmental Things, and she won, and we're thrilled about that too. The reason we submitted the application was as the Watershed Protection Acting Manager, she is in charge of policy development and outreach development in the watershed area for the city. So one of the outcomes of that is a summary of what we do, what she does, in pollution prevention. Another example is her work in pesticides. She is the champion for our city for pesticide reduction, and that has had tremendous results. We have reduced pesticide use by 75% in the last few years, and we've reduced the use of this Roundup by 90% on city areas. We have 21 pesticide-free parks now as a result of Julie's leadership. Another area is plastics reduction. Plastics are into the ocean now in unacceptable amounts. And Julie's work specifically resulted in an ordinance on plastic bags. Plastic bags are literally killing our ecosystem. And another area in plastics reduction is plastic stuff like straws. So Julie led the charge with Girl Scouts to come to an ordinance on plastic straws. Well, we could go on and on. Julie's accomplishments are many. We're out of time, so I'll just say thank you so much, Julie Weiss, and those listening about her today.
Hello, and thank you, Acterra, for your ongoing leadership in our community and for hosting this event tonight. My name is Julie Weiss. I work for the City of Palo Alto in our Watershed Protection Program. Our team partners with residents and industry to reduce stormwater and wastewater pollutants that might otherwise enter the bay. One of the great things about working for the city is that our organization really strives to be an environmental leader, and this has allowed me to work on so many interesting projects over the years. I feel very honored to receive this acknowledgement and very mindful that in every single project I've worked on, it takes many people on our staff and in our community to find the way forward. Just like an ecosystem, we do our best work with a diverse crowd and diverse skill sets. I was asked to share what inspires me, and my inspiration is the same now as what it was at the start of my career. I just want to do whatever I can to help heal this beautiful planet that sustains us. I'm inspired by places I love, like the redwoods and the ocean, and by a desire I know all of us share of wanting our next generations of all species to thrive. I also want our future environmental leaders to thrive. And so whether they're currently in grade school or in the job market, I hope that all of us can share our time with them to help them find their path forward. Thank you again, Acterra. You keep blazing the way year after year, and we are so grateful for your leadership. Thank you.
I nominated Chance Cutrano as a champion of promise for his development of Fish in the Fields, a sustainable aquaculture program that grows fish in rice fields during the off-season. It's a carbon-negative process requiring no additional land, water, or feed. In collaboration with Deborah Moskowitz, president of Resource Renewal Institute, Chance works with California rice farmers to use ecological principles not only to grow more food, but also to mitigate climate change. Always a champion for social equity, having earned his MPA in Sustainable Management at the Presidio Graduate School, Chance wants to expand Fish in the Fields to foster sustainable livelihood and food globally. Through PGS, he commissioned grad students in South America to characterize Fish in the Fields' value proposition for both food supply and environmental sustainability in Colombia. Chance Cutrano's acumen in science, business case, and socio-political dynamics make him a champion of promise for sustainable food.
Thank you so much for recognizing my work with Fish in the Fields. Chance and I are honored to receive the Champion of Promise Award. Fish in the Fields actually began in the ocean over a decade ago, long before we showed that introducing small fish to rice fields can reduce methane emissions by 2/3. We were distraught at the overfishing crisis in the oceans. How on earth could a small nonprofit make a difference on a global problem? Well, Fish in the Fields has the potential to impact many of the world's most pervasive nutritional, agricultural, and environmental challenges, including climate change. It is no coincidence that our small nonprofit Resource Renewal Institute is located in California, a place where new and unconventional ideas can be generated and tested. In fact, RISE founder Huey Johnson moved here because he loved to fish. And we continue to work as he did, take an unpopular idea that people say won't lead to anything, connect it to habitat restoration, agricultural innovation, job creation, our love of fish, and climate change, and create our own opportunities. We believe that persistence is an environmentalist's greatest tool, and we promise it can change the world. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chance Cutrano, and I'm honored to be a recipient of the 2021 Champions of Promise Award from Acterra. I'm also honored to share this award with my colleague, Deborah Moskowitz, who I work with on Fish in the Fields. It's the first thing I wanted to convey tonight, is just how important it is to have collaboration and teamwork when confronting the myriad challenges we face today, the climate crisis, biodiversity loss, racial inequities, a pandemic. These things seem almost insurmountable when we try to confront them as individuals, but when we confront them as a community, we really have a shot. And we're all standing on the shoulders of giants. Another giant on this team who we unfortunately lost last year is my colleague and mentor, Huey Johnson, who conceived of Fish in the Fields, sitting in a duck blind. And, you know, the incredible thing about Fish in the Fields, this nature-based solution in rice paddy ecosystems to fight climate change and at the same time to create wildlife habitat. The amazing thing is that it's not a new invention. Huey used to talk about how he went to do some research and found out that there were papers and oral histories on this type of practice that you could pin from here all the way to Southeast Asia on a clothesline. And I think that's the final thing that really inspires me. It's these mentors and visionaries, it's the teamwork and collaboration, but it's also these traditional knowledge systems, these really resilient communities that have been working on cracking the code on all these issues for millennia. And it's taken us only a couple hundred years to, you know, scrap all those great systems and find ourselves in the mess we're in today. And now we have this opportunity to make a promise to the planet and each other and to become way more intersectional and say, we're going to align people working on these landscapes, the planet that provides, and the prosperity that's achievable when we respect those people, when we respect animals, and when we respect the planet. Thank you very much.
I would like to nominate Deborah Vasquez for the Building Electrification Award. As some of you know, it is no small task to improve the energy efficiency of your home and to begin the transition away from gas. But Deborah managed to do just that for the 44 homes in the Mountain View apartment complex that she manages. She started with small things that would save the tenants money, like recycling and low water fixtures, and then moved on to the big impact items like attic and wall insulation, solar hot water, and highly efficient furnaces. To get the property owner on board, Deborah worked with multiple local agencies to find the best financial incentives. And to minimize impact on the tenants, she carefully scheduled the changes over several years. Deborah's building is now in the top 1% in energy efficiency of similar buildings across the country. The owner is very happy to have a 100% occupied building even during the pandemic, and the tenants are very happy with low energy bills and quiet and comfortable apartments. Deborah's steadfast commitment to her tenants, to the owner, and to the environment has really paid off.
Vasquez, property manager at Sunshine Gardens here in Mountain View in Santa Clara County. And so I was inspired to do this work for electrification and greening this multifamily, all because of a flyer from Recology South Bay, which is the recycling and trash company here. The flyer mentioned that we could get involved in a recycling program for multifamilies, and this saved the residents money and also reduce the trash. So the idea that we can have a win-win solution that addresses and benefits the people and our environment has been a driving factor for the last 5 years that I've been working here. So I once read a quote that was attributed to Gandhi that said, "You must be the change you wish to see in the world." And I believe that ever since. It's a very powerful idea that we can shape the world we live in and not be spectators of our lives or victims of circumstance. There are very serious environmental and social problems that are compounded by social inequalities. But if we can address the problem honestly and from different perspectives, that's how we will find solutions together. So thank you so much for this award. I'm really honored to be a champion of promise. And, you know, small things can lead to big changes. And from our Energy Star going from 46 to 99, this is all due to a bunch of different groups and people that have made this possible. So this includes Recology South Bay, Fannie Mae Green Loan, Santa Clara Valley Water District, Bayran, PG&E, Building Efficiency, Sunbank, and Core Energies, and all these other contractors that, you know, we can't mention now, but we really thank them. And without people who believed in what they do day to day, we wouldn't have been able to make this possible. So, the sum of our efforts can result in big changes, and they can result in a better future and a greener world. So I'm very inspired and excited to see all the good work done here. Let's continue on these positive paths, and eventually our ideas will converge and build on one another in a more beautiful and just future. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Elena Atlery, and I'm honored to nominate Audrey Chang for Acterra's Youth Activism and Climate Change Education Award. I had the pleasure of leading Los Altos High School's environmental club Green Team with Audrey last year, and she is so wonderful and passionate about the environment. During her 3 years of leadership in Green Team, she has greatly contributed to the culture of sustainability on campus, in her local community, and in the wider Bay Area. Audrey has twice organized a Bay Area-wide conference for high school environmentalists to share their projects and ideas. She also helped design and fund a new class curriculum for Los Altos School District program Living Classroom. Even during the pandemic, Audrey has continued to work closely with her club members to ensure that the values of sustainability are at the forefront of our decision-making. For example, Green Team has passed the Climate Action Resolution with our school district board and endorsed city officials with strong environmental priorities. Green Team is currently working on developing an environmental curriculum with Bay Area-specific case studies, among other projects. I am proud of all of Audrey's achievements so far and excited to see how she will apply her passions in the future.
Hello, thank you all for being here tonight. I'm so honored to be receiving this award. A lot of people to thank, so bear with me. I would first like to say a big thank you to Los Altos High School Green Team, or LAHS Green Team. To the team's past members, thank you for setting a precedent of environmental activism at Los Altos High School. And to our current members, thank you for being one of the best teams anyone could ever wish to lead. Each and every one of you is driven, passionate, full of energy. I am constantly inspired by you all and by the tangible change that we're able to achieve together, so thank you. Thank you to Margaret Capetz and Sybil Kramer, my co-president, and our team and parent liaison, respectively. They are both absolute joys to work with. Thank you to Los Altos High School for being supportive of our efforts. I really admire how their commitment to sustainability aligns with the mission of our club. And of course, our efforts would not be possible without the support, guidance, and collaboration of other amazing environmental organizations such as Acterra. In fact, Acterra helped fund emergency kits for students and families in the East Palo Alto area, providing emergency preparedness support for communities that are hit first and hit hardest by the impacts of climate change. So thank you again there, which brings me to why we do what we do. I joined Green Team along with many others because we do not want to stand idle in the face of a deteriorating planet. As you may have seen with the California-Oregon fires and extreme weather and increased natural disasters, there are too many lives, too much biodiversity, too much at risk for us to act any later than now. The world is too beautiful, too generous, and too full of potential for us to be trashing it so early. And we have to remember that we are inhabitants as much as we are brothers, sisters, family members, friends. It will not be easy, the fight for a planet, but it will be worth it. And that's why I continue to do the work, or we continue to do the work that we do every day. And once again, I must extend a big thank you to my Green Team pals, Los Altos High School, our local community and community organizations for being supportive of positive environmental change. Our work would not be possible without you all and your support. Thank you.
Huge congrats again to all the Champions of Promise winners. I loved hearing about your stories, for your nominators, and the why behind what you did. Thank you, thank you, thank you. In the chat, let's give them some love. I'd love to hear what stories inspired you, what moved you. And we're gonna switch gears in a bit. So now might be the perfect time for a bio break. Move those legs, move those arms, get yourself some hydration, and DJ Dak, remember DJ Dak, D-A-K, give her some love too, is going to spin some tunes to keep this energy going. And please, now is the time to go grab your wallet, go grab your credit card. The Acterra team, Promise to our Planet team, are about to share some great ways to support the causes that you've heard about today. We'll see you soon.
Hi, everyone. My name is Zach Wertz, and I'm the Development and Operations Associate here at Acterra. So I'm the person who supports the staff and really the entire Acterra family from behind the scenes most frequently. It is my honor now to open up our Fund a Future for the evening. Our staff is so excited to tell you about their roles in the organization, and we are thrilled to share the impact and the effect that our work has had on the community and in the world to combat climate change. We will kick it off with Kendall and work from program to program, really hoping to show you how critical your support is to Acterra in order to continue the work that we are doing. In order to make a gift of any amount, and I really want to stress that any amount is so important to us, please click the link at the bottom of your screen or visit our website, www.acterra.org/donate, or you can text the word Acterra to 21000. That's Acterra, ACTERRA, it's been all over tonight, to 21000. So thank you so much for your support in advance. Kendall, take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kendall Post, and I currently serve as Acterra's Youth Be the Change Program Associate Fellow. I'm excited to announce that Acterra has launched its new Youth Be the Change program. I'm very passionate about empowering youth and inspiring them by providing them with the knowledge, tools, and opportunities to connect with their local communities and take meaningful environmental action. I'm honored to have been able to bring this Acterra program to life since I started in this role in November of 2020. Acterra hopes that climate education will become a mainstay in public schools and community-based organizations across the Bay Area. The Youth Be the Change program's long-term outcome is to encourage and inspire youth leadership. At Acterra, we believe a sustainable future is one that embraces, empowers, and provides a voice for youth. This 3-week-long educational program for middle school students consists of 6 2-hour interactive sessions where students learn about climate science, climate effects, and climate action from a global and local perspective. We created a Google Classroom for each of the 6 sessions with instructional videos, interactive activities, critical thinking questions, and fun lab assignments, so students could participate in the Youth Be the Change program through a self-paced virtual classroom setting. Now that we have officially launched the Youth Be the Change program, we are setting our sights on growing the program, reaching more 7th and 8th graders around the Bay Area and activating them to become the next climate leaders in their communities. In addition to expanding the reach of the Youth Be the Change program, we would like to provide students with supplies for our labs and seed funding for an environmental project they commit to as part of their climate action pledges they create upon graduation from the program. Your gift of $10,000 can help educate an entire grade of students about climate change science, problems, and solutions.
Hi there, my name is Ariane Erickson, and I run the Carl Knapp GoEV program, which is helping accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles in the Bay Area. One of our program priorities is to help environmentally disadvantaged and low-income communities participate in the benefits of clean transportation so that they too can experience cleaner air, better health, greater mobility, and yes, even the joys of EV ownership. At Acterra, we believe there's an EV for every budget. This is because there are many rebates and grants available specifically for income qualifying families, but they face 2 main barriers. 1, awareness. Many income qualifying consumers don't know about the incentives that could decrease the cost of an EV by up to 2/3. And 2, complexity. These various grants have differing eligibility, application, and fulfillment requirements that can make the process simply overwhelming. The Carl Knapp Go EV program is breaking down these barriers. At our EV Financial Incentives clinics, we take a deep dive into the many programs that can make EV ownership financially attainable. We then provide one-on-one consultations via Zoom for anyone who would like additional guidance and support. This is a new program activity, but we are tracking our clients, and we hope to see the fruits of our efforts play out as some or many of these individuals successfully apply for and receive their grants and become proud EV owners. Your donation of $5,000 to Acterra can help up to 50 disadvantaged and low-income residents realize their dream of EV ownership. Please help us achieve our vision of EV ownership for everyone by supporting Acterra and this important program activity. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nicole Angel, Director of Sustainability, and I'm thrilled to tell you about our new Healthy Plate, Healthy Planet program. We're educating and supporting the local community to adopt a plant-forward diet and reduce food waste for fewer greenhouse gas emissions. My favorite event was in November, when we brought together a rainbow of cultures with leading Bay Area chefs to share their favorite holiday recipes in a plant-based format. At the same time, we launched an online community where 200 members and ambassadors are sharing sustainable cooking tips, recipes, favorite local restaurants, and much more. At the start of this year, we challenged everyone to go plant forward during Veganuary Your Way. Each path was unique, and participants filled their plates with healthy veggies and whole grains, moving meat and/or dairy to the side for certain meals, entire days, or even the full month. One family of 3 omnivores went vegetarian for the month, saving a total of 360 pounds of GHGs. That's equivalent to over 400 miles driven by a typical gas-powered car. Get ready, Meatless May is coming, and we invite you to join the challenge. Want to do more? Your gift of $2,500 can help develop software to track and report back to our challenge members the huge impact they are making with small dietary changes. Thank you for being part of the Acterra family.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brianna Duarte, and I serve as Acterra's Beneficial Electrification Fellow. Climate initiatives are a priority to combat climate change. Reducing greenhouse gas emissions are important to help the transition to carbon-neutral cities. Acterra prioritizes assisting Bay Area communities to transition to sustainable living practices. We believe that all communities and residents deserve access to environmentally healthy living spaces. 2 of the main programs I oversee at Acterra are the Induction Cooktop Loaner Program and the weekly Induction Cooking Series. These exciting programs educate and allow residents to incorporate pollution-free appliances into the home kitchen. Each week, Acterra inspires and enables families to experiment with energy-efficient induction hobs. Our induction programs open the gateway for families to create a zero-emission kitchen and a lively space for both human and environmental health. Now that our induction programs are underway, we would love the opportunity to build more momentum by expanding our reach to more families. I have a vision of clean air and a healthy environment that myself, you, and your children can breathe without risking exposure to toxins. Your gift of $1,000 can fund 1 induction cooktop demonstration and workshop in collaboration with a professional chef to help make this vision come true. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Robbie Brown, and I am Acterra's Community Engagement Associate. I also oversee Acterra's Workplace Sustainability Program. Since the beginning of 2020, Acterra as an organization has been able to put on over 40 events, and all of these events engage our local communities here in the Bay Area. Out of those events, 3 of them have been workplace sustainability focused. Our workplace sustainability programming is concentrated on creating awareness around sustainability efforts in our business community, as well as creating networks for like-minded professionals interested in climate action in the workspace. This program can be divided into 2 sections. So we have our Business Environmental Awards, and then we also have our Silicon Valley Green Team Network. Our Business Environmental Awards provides a space where we can celebrate and honor the inspiring work that organizations, agencies, and corporations have conducted to help benefit our local communities and our planet. Our Silicon Valley Green Team Network is a network of individuals who want to increase sustainability in their workplace. For this network, we offer 2 forums a year, one in the fall and one in the spring. You can show your support for Acterra by donating $500 so that we can be sure to be able to continue to recognize the achievements of Bay Area businesses and to be able to act as a resource and hub when it comes to sustainability in the workplace. Thank you for your contribution.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Wendy Cho, and I'm the Communications and Outreach Manager at Acterra. I support Acterra's programs by telling our stories of impact in print and through our digital outreach. Many of you no doubt found Acterra through our popular lecture series, where we invite experts from academia, from companies, and from the policy world to weigh in on important issues relating to the climate crisis and our piece of that puzzle here in the Bay Area. To me, and I hope many of you, these lectures are a vital spark that not only keep us informed, but motivate us with their messages of hope and progress, the hope that we need to keep us fighting this fight. We expanded the number of lectures we offer during this time of COVID, and with our remote platform, we're glad to be reaching larger audiences than in the past. Last year, we featured an all-female panel on healthy soils and landscapes and how they can draw down carbon emissions. We also heard from excellent speakers including Chance Catrano, Anthony Mint, Jack Norris, Hope Bahanic, and a panel of youth speakers from the group Heirs to Our Oceans. For our spring series, we've already heard from Bruce Hodge on electrifying cities at the large scale, and former Mayor Regina Wallace-Jones on East Palo Alto's role in the fabric of Silicon Valley. Coming up in April, we have Julia Zeitlin, who founded the Sunrise Movement Palo Alto Hub, and finally Nitesh Dalab in May on sustainable development goals. But we have a lot more work to do to ensure that our content is accessible to the deaf and hearing impaired communities, and also to our community members for whom English is not a primary language. We need everyone joining in the movement for climate action. So we need to provide full access to everyone to our programming. If you can donate $250, you'll help provide the financial support needed to pay for interpreters and translation services so that our programming can be more inclusive and fully available to everyone in the community. Thank you so much for your support.
Hello, my name is Darren Dawn. Last year, I attended an Acterra event and it had a huge impact on me. I have been looking for a way to get involved in combating climate change, and I knew right away that I wanted to work for this organization that is so dedicated to improving the health of our planet. I started by doing some volunteer work for them, and now happily a year later, I am working for Acterra. My official title is Energy and Climate Research Manager. Now I know that sounds like a mouthful, but let me simplify it. I am conducting research that helps support our programming. For example, I've conducted research on the safety of electric vehicles to help support our Carl Knapp Go EV program. I've conducted research on the health benefits of plant-forward diets to support our Healthy Planet, Healthy Plate program. I'm also contributing written material, having produced op-eds on the unique issues that both seniors and adolescents can face when considering a plant-forward diet. This type of research is new for us, and it is important because it helps provide scientific backing and data for what we are promoting. It helps us answer questions from the community, and it also keeps us up to date on the current science. I know this work is important, and I feel so inspired by it. That is why I am asking you for your support. By contributing $100, you can help me continue to back our programs with the best available science. It will also help provide me with better access to the literature, including journal articles and databases that require paid subscriptions. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi everyone, my name is Jared Johnson. I'm currently the Policy Fellow for Acterra. I'm really passionate about working on policy. I actually got started doing policy work after the 2016 election. I was just so frustrated by the result. I knew that I needed to do something to just create change. I actually joined an organization called Wolfpack to help get money out of politics. Then I kind of took my experience to work on some environmental issues surrounding plastic pollution and overuse of antibiotics on factory farms. However, I was always most passionate about the climate. As a kid, I actually had dreams of creating a weather machine to make sure people didn't suffer the effects of natural disasters. And climate change is kind of the real world version of that, helping folks not suffer from the ever-changing impacts of the changing climate. So at Acterra, I've been working to support our programs through policy. To start off, last year I was working to push forward all electric reach codes, which are essentially mandates that all new buildings be electric as opposed to having gas hookups. We actually helped Redwood City, who back last January was thinking of pushing through an all-electric reach code, but had stopped that process. Back in September, we actually went to their committee meetings. We invited some young people to actually talk about why this issue was so important to them. And they ended up passing the new reach code. So new buildings in Redwood City will now be all electric with some exceptions. So one of the reasons that why policy is so important to be working on is because individual actions can only take us so far. Climate change is a systemic problem and it will need a systemic solution. And the best and fastest way to get that systemic solution is through policy. So a gift from you of $50 can help us get petitioning materials to put pressure on lawmakers to pass strong greenhouse gas reducing policies. So thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, JJ, and thank you to the entire staff for the countless hours that you put into your programs and into Acterra. It really is inspiring to hear all the work that you are doing and how much that work means to you. I also want to thank everyone here tonight for the gifts that we have seen flow in. Please continue giving all night as you are inspired by the stories and the work that you're hearing about. Once again, all gifts of any size matter so much and are so impactful for us to continue the fight against climate change. And now back to Osman to take us to the next portion of the event.
Now comes one of the funnest segments of our evening. Now comes the time to choose your own adventure. Breakout rooms. In Hopin, you'll need to click, but you look on your left and you'll be able to click on 6 phenomenal speakers who are going to promise to lower our carbon footprint and promote sustainable practices in their communities. I'm going to introduce each one very briefly so you know who you might want to head out and see. Malcolm Shabazz Hoover, he's the co-founder of the Black Futures Farm, a community venture farm with an incredible personal community story of farming for fruits and vegetables with a dream to make it a model for clean energy. Isaiah Hernandez is going to talk to us about ecological crisis and activism, how to build hope. He's my latest favorite UC Berkeley grad, Go Bears, and provides digital forms of education online through colorful graphics, visual illustrations, and video content. Chelsea Sexton is another wonderful speaker. She's spent over the last 25 years focused on accelerating electric horsepower. Her session will include a cameo by a now famous mayor that you know, a fascinating history of her work with automakers, policymakers, utilities, and nonprofits to replace fossil fuels throughout transportation. Bill Weil is the founder and executive director of Climate Voice, Bill spent time at Google as the Green Energy Czar and Director of Sustainability at Facebook. He will share his perspective on corporate social responsibility gleaned from the last 15 years and how to look ahead. Vinita Chopra is going to help us learn how to cook a delicious meal. She knows what she's doing as she taught at the California Culinary Academy and is the founder of The Spice Whisperer. I'm just getting hungry thinking about that session. Matt Goff joins us from the Sierra Club and works on building electrification. He works with a variety of stakeholders to design and advocate for smart, cost-effective electrification. After your breakouts finish, please rejoin us here at the main stage. DJ Dak will be spinning tunes and back on the main stage, keeping our energy up. Go and enjoy these sessions. I know I will. Welcome back to the main stage. How amazing were those sessions? Wow, I really hope that you enjoyed them as much as I did. I know I learned a ton. In the chat, again, what did you learn? We would love to hear. For me, so many gems from the breakouts. Malcolm shared that 90% of Black-owned farms were taken away from African Americans in the last 100 years. Isaiah showed us that there's much to learn about ecological crisis and activism based on hopes, graphics, and visual content. Chelsea's pictures and stories about the rise of EVs was amazing. Bill brought the heft of corporate experience at great firms and helped teach about the ongoing journey of CSR. Vinita made my stomach rumble with that delicious meal. I actually can't wait to try to cook it. And Matt really put electrification into perspective. Again, I'd love to know what resonated with you and would love to know how that's affected you and your thinking going forward. So this event, this momentum, this movement does not end tonight. I want you to consider two things. One, join Acterra for upcoming events at acterra.org/events. Some cool things are really coming up, and I want you to sign up. For example, there's a coffee hour with James O'Hagan, Acterra's executive director, where he'll be talking in the next week about decarbonizing built environments or connecting the e-vendors. Get it? It's like Avengers, but for those of you who are interested in electric vehicles. And there's more, but please, please, please check out acterra.org/events. Second, I want you to give back. Acterra can't do this alone. You can't do this alone. I can't do this alone. But as Bill said, we can and must do it together. Again, acterra.org/donate-now. And best believe me, I'm going to be making my donation right after this session. What an evening this was. Let's give it up one more time for the team who put this extraordinary event together. Please, in the chat, again, act like it's 1999. Show your love and your emojis and words of support for this community, for this team who continue to do amazing things. We kicked off the night with Lauren giving us an overview of why we were here. Then our awards show kicked off with Spare the Air and followed up by the legendary Bill McKibben setting the stage for where we've been and where we need to go. Lauren that's helped us recognize the champions of promise who are taking impactful actions to combat climate crisis. Acterra's impressive team shared the great work they're doing and asked for our help to fund a future. And finally, some phenomenal breakout sessions brought to life by some brilliant members of the community. I can't believe we're almost at time. But hey guys, you know that after any good show, there's always an encore. Sneak peek, it's award-winning chef Brian Terry. He'll be talking about creating public programming that celebrates the intersection of food, farming, health, activism, art, culture, and he will offer thoughts and tools and tips for sustainable eating and living. And he'll demonstrate with a plant-based recipe, tofu curry with mustard greens, for attendees to learn and cook at home. So you can't miss this. But before we go to Brian and the encore, we're going to close out this main event with a super talented California songwriter and musician, Gable Brannigan. She uses her voice and plays the guitar to share the healing energy of music with this world. She's going to close this event and have us listen to her sing, "Oh, What a World." Please put your hands together for the talented Gable Brannigan.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gable, and I will be singing "Oh What a World" by Casey Musgraves to end Acterra's Spring Promise to Our Planet benefit. Thank you so much for sharing this evening and for your contribution of committing to the planet, promising to lower our carbon footprint on the planet, and continually promoting sustainability practices in your own way in your communities. Finally, thank you for your presence at this beautiful virtual event. I hope you enjoy my offering. Northern lights in the skies, plants that grow in, open your mind, things that swim with neon glow, how we all got here, nobody knows. These are real things. These are real things. Oh, what a world. Don't wanna leave. All kinds of magic all around us. It's hard to believe. Thank God it's not too good to be true.